Welcome back to the OpenShift beginning series. In this video, we are going to understand two very important concepts in OpenShift, services and route. We will learn why application running inside pod needs services, how services find the right pods, and finally, how routes pod allow users to access application from outside the OpenShift environment. By the end of this video, you will understand the complete traffic flow from a user's browser through a route and service, all the way to the application running inside a pod. How does the traffic reach your application? Let's start with the simple question. How does a user actually reach an application running inside OpenShift? You might think we can simply connect to the IP address of a pod, but that's not a reliable approach. Pods are designed to be temporary. They can restart, they can replace, and when that happens, their IP addresses can change. We can also have multiple replicas of the same application running at the same time. So now we have another problem. If there are multiple pods, which pod should handle the user request? This is why we need a stable endpoint between the user and the pods. And that's where an OpenShift service comes in. What is an OpenShift service? A service provides a stable network endpoint for a group of pods. Instead of connecting directly to the individual pods, application can communicate through a service. The service identifies the correct pod using labels and selector. Once the matching pods are identified, traffic can be distributed across the pods. This means that even if pods restarts or the number of replicas changes, application can continue communicating through the same service endpoint. Services are also very important for internal communication between different components of the application. So remember three important ideas. Number one is a stable endpoint. Number two, label based selection. And the third one is load balanced traffic. How does a service find the right pods? Actually, the question is, but how does the service know which pod it should send traffic to? The answer is label and selector. Imagine we have three pods. Pod 1 has the label app, that is web. Pod 2 also has application, that is web. And the third one, the pod has a label of database. Now imagine our service has a selector of app. The service will identify pod 1 and pod 2 as matching pods. Pod 3 does not match the selector, so it won't receive traffic from this service. This is the fundamental concept in Kubernetes and OpenShift. Labels identify resources and selectors are used to find matching resources. You can think of the label as the glue that connects a service to the pod it should serve. Services become even more useful when we have a multi-tier application. For example, imagine an application with the front end, a back end API, and a database. The front end does not need to know the individual IP addresses of the backend pods. Instead, it communicates with the backend services. The backend service that directs the request to one of the available backend pods. Similarly, the backend can communicate with the database service instead of connecting directly to individual database pods. Actually, this creates a clean separation between application component, and more importantly, it means that pods can restart, scale, or be replaced without requiring every application component to know their changing IP addresses. This makes the architecture much more resilient and scalable. Let's talk about service versus route. Now, we need to understand an important distinction. What the difference between a service and a route? A service primarily handles connectivity to pods within the OpenShift environment. A route, on the other hand, is used to provide external access to an application. So the simplest way to remember this is service connects to pod, route exposes the application and externally. Think of the architecture as two-layer. For internal communication, service communicates with pods, and for external access, routes exposes the application externally. Understanding this distinction will make the rest of the OpenShift networking much easier. Now let's talk in detail about the OpenShift route. So what exactly is an OpenShift route? OpenShift route allows a service to be exposed outside the OpenShift environment through a host name. For example, imagine our application is available at myapp.example.com. A user enters that host name in their browser. The request reaches the OpenShift routing layer. The route directs the user to the appropriate service, and the service then sends the traffic to an available pod running the application. So, the basic process is the user requests the host name, the OpenShift routes receives the request, the route directs it to the appropriate service, and the service sends the traffic to an available pod. That's the basic external traffic flow we are interested in. The complete OpenShift traffic flow. Now let's put everything together. A user starts by opening an application from their browser. The request enters out OpenShift through the route. The route provides the external access point for the application. From there, the request reaches the service. The service provides stable connectivity to the application pod. Behind that service, we can have multiple pods running the application. Our deployment can manage those pods replicas, while the pod actually runs the application. So our complete flow is each layer has a specific responsibility. The route handles external access. The service provides a stable connectivity. The deployment manages the pod replicas, and the pod runs the actual application. Let's look at the practical example. Imagine a banking web application running on OpenShift. A customer opens the application in their browser using HTTPS. The request first reaches the OpenShift route. The route provides the external entry point for the application. From there, the request can reach the front-end service. The front-end service provides a stable endpoint for multiple front-end pods. When the front-end needs to communicate with the backend, it uses the backend API service. That service provides a stable endpoint for multiple backend replicas. Behind these services, multiple pods can run simultaneously. This gives the application better availability and allow workload to scale. Most importantly, if one pod restarts, the service continues to provide a stable way to reach the application. That is one of the key benefits of using services and routes in OpenShift environment. Let's quickly recap what we have learned. Pods run the application. Service provides stable connectivity to the pods. Services use selector to identify the pods that should send traffic to. And route provide external access to services. So the simple traffic flow to remember is users communicates with route communicates with services, service communicate with pod. Once you understand this flow, a lot of OpenShift networking become easier to understand. In the next video, we will move on to another important OpenShift concept, that is config maps and secrets. If this video helped you understand OpenShift services and route, make sure to like the video and subscribe the channel. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you.